It's Craig Murray here from the Business Review Network, and this week we're delighted to have Bruce Marler with us. He's the CEO and founder of Local Tech, an online marketing solutions company situated in Southeast Missouri. Hi, how are you today, Bruce?
I am great. How are you doing?
Not too bad, thank you. Thanks for joining us. How about you go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you came around to find Local Tech?
Yeah, I've been around technology for quite some time. Actually, I think I had my first computer in like 1982 when I was 10, 11 years old. So been around technology all my life, and was at AT&T when we were first launching the internet backbone at AT&T, and from there kind of went into various web design and networking functions within the industry. And about 4 or 5 years ago, decided that it was time to actually start what I would consider a next generation online marketing firm here in a rural area of Missouri to bring those type of services into an area that was really underserved when it comes to real advanced technology as far as SEO, web design, mobile app development, those type of things.
Oh, that's great. And would you say there's a lot of areas in America at the moment, rural areas, that are in need of this kind of company, that there's an opportunity for individuals out there who are like-minded to start up?
Absolutely. I think, a lot of times people look at rural areas and they get concerned about the market potential for them, or they get concerned about the workforce to be able to provide these services to, or that can provide these services. I think what they'll find, between the internet and between technology enabling access to anyone, people have the potential to do next generation services or really advanced technology anywhere in the world. It doesn't necessarily just have to be in a metro region anymore. Myself, I work from Farmington, Missouri. I've lived here virtually all my life in this area, but I've traveled the world and did high-tech jobs my whole life and never had to go anywhere else. So I think in many cases, people overlook the potential of doing business in these rural regions.
That's great. And just after talking to you earlier, you said that Local Tech's focus more on the marketing side and the call to actions of websites. And you mentioned that a lot of people look at the technical side of a website, and when it's searched in Google, you see that they haven't got their meta tags done correctly or their descriptions. So people who are searching for their company, who may come across it, don't actually know what it is they're viewing when they're in the Google search. How important is it nowadays with millions upon millions of websites online in your niche popping up every day, just to have the marketing side perfected?
I think it's actually very important. It's actually probably more important than how the site looks in many cases anymore. And I think, historically, a lot of businesses looked at a website as a nice to have. It was, oh, look, I'm great. I have a website. Maybe it was a business doing well, and they were like, oh, look, we're doing well. We have a website. We're online. And that's how a small business actually looked at a website. It was just a nice to have. It kind of showed off how successful they were. Anymore, a website is actually their #1 requirement for marketing, as far as I'm concerned. A lot of people would probably argue that, but if you really look at how consumers use the internet, most consumers, I would say, close to 90% of consumers start their search online to find information about what restaurant they're going to order pizza from, about what business they're going to go buy something from, about who they're going to do business with. So if you're not being found, your competitors are. Or maybe that large chain store is being found instead of your local Main Street, in this case, Main Street America restaurant, isn't being found because a big chain restaurant is being found because they were using it online. So if you're not being found, your competitors are probably the ones being found. So it's very important. The trick is, once they get there, they need to actually be able to do something. They need to know what you're trying to accomplish what they need to accomplish once they get there, and that is, hey, call me. Hey, order a pizza. Hey, do this or that. So you need to guide them and call them to act once they get to the site.
Exactly. It's great that you say that, because a lot of clients I speak to here, when I speak of CTA, or call to action, they're not actually too sure the definition of the term or what it is. But a call to action can be just a phone number on the site as a call to action, or an opt-in box, which obviously a lot of internet marketers are using these days, and a lot of companies, to grab an email and build an email list and then convert it into leads. But a lot of people just aren't aware of that, and it's funny you say it, that the design aspect of the website isn't the big deal anymore, because I remember I had a site, wasn't a great looking site, but it converted a lot more than the site I spent thousands on. So it's actually the marketing aspect now is being found, and that's where people should be looking. So you say Local Tech, you do marketing for all companies, What else? You also do mobile apps and web design as well. And what else do you cater for?
We actually focus on, like you said, we do mobile app development. That's something that we felt the market was ready for. There's a lot of apps out there today, but small businesses and finding needs for them, finding application needs is very important. Sometimes people sell technology just to sell technology and say, look, this is what we can do, and they don't really have a real value or a business case to it. We actually came up with a lot of business case plans for our customers to actually find ways to use mobile applications. So we've had a lot of success lately for doing cloud-based menuing applications for iPhones for local restaurants. We were looking at things like, loyalty card type functions within apps for small businesses. Those type of things we're really working hard on to support the small business customer. The other thing we do is social media marketing. As you mentioned, web design. We focus a lot on making it simple for customers. We don't just go out and say, hey, here's a website. Once they get the website, they need to be able to use that website, and that's a very important thing we feel is it needs to be usable for them once they have it. So we really consider ourselves a full solution firm when it comes to that. When we first launched, we just did websites and we did hosting and we did online advertising. We actually own 24 different state.me's. What I mean by that is we own Missouri.me, we own Illinois.me. We have a large network of properties online that we're building out right now with some applications that we're actually building and getting ready to launch. So we are a full service firm really helping these customers.
That's great. So with these 24.me state domains, do you plan on expanding local tech, or are you going to keep it rural? Because I know currently you're in a region of the St. Louis metro area, and
yeah.
Would you say you get a lot more business from the St. Louis region for mobile app development, or would there be a lot of business in the rural areas?
I think it's a combination. We really have actually been working with a lot of St. Louis businesses on mobile app development. There's a lot of opportunity, we feel. The mobile app thing was really interesting for a lot of developers to go out and put a lot of games out, a lot of interesting various applications that were really creative. I think whether it be in St. Louis or a rural area, like Farmington, which is really, I say rural, but it's really a progressive, growing region. And I think people miss that point in some of these areas. I think the opportunities there, working with small businesses to help them take advantage of always being in their customers' pockets. One of the things we're enabling is like service-side businesses. We have a customer who's a home security and home automation company. They actually, if you go search for HC Design in the App Store, they actually launched an app with us that they have live support chat right within their application. We actually partnered with a company by the name of HipMob to actually embed live support chat right inside of an iPhone application. So now their customers don't have to be trying to find a phone number to call them. They don't have to go email them. They can bring up an application and have live chat with the support folks from HC Design using HipMob embedded in the application.
That's great. That's not something you see every day, so it's really going to make that business stand out. And just I remember speaking.
It really is advanced technology.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I remember speaking to you briefly, and you said that all the apps are built in-house, which really differentiates you from a lot of businesses who outsource their programming. So do you specialize in the programming of the apps yourself?
Yeah, actually, I do. Actually, we have other folks that help as well, but a lot of the key engineering and design and code functions actually do come from myself. There's actually a couple apps we just launched was purely myself. But yeah, I try to understand the technology as well as the business and marketing side, so I can make sure that it stays consistent. I think sometimes technology people tend to focus too much on the technology and don't think about the bigger picture of how it impacts the customer once they start to use it. So we find it very important to not just focus on the technology, but figure out how is a customer or their customer actually going to use it once they have it.
I got you. So local tech is really up on the modern trends, and you can cater for everything that a customer is going to want.
Well, we do. One of the things we focus on is talking to our customers. We don't say, hey, this is what you're going to buy. We tend to talk to them and say, how do your customers work with you? Right? How do you tend to get your customers right now? What would you like them to have access to? Rather than telling them what we're going to do for them, we like to work with them and actually have it be a collaborative experience working through it.
That's brilliant. And it's nice that you say that, because also speaking to you, say you've started up the Parkland Meetup and the Parkland Programmers, which is great. It's just because you love talking to people and you've started up these meetups now in your rural area. We'll just talk about the Parkland Meetup first. You say you started this meetup up so that entrepreneurs, tech-savvy people, and local businesses can get together and see how tech can change their business. Is that correct?
That's absolutely right. As we know, technology has really become ubiquitous for anyone that's using it. If anybody, can go right now, get on the internet, and have access to all the information in the world right at their fingertips. Whether you be in a large metro area or a rural region, you have that same access now as broadband drives more and more deeper in these regions. So we felt it important with broadband being so ubiquitous that we actually needed to focus on making sure the local business owners, the local tech-savvy individuals, and the workforce was really prepared to take advantage of this knowledge worker economy and economy. And so to do that, we started the Parkland Meetup. And what that does, the Parkland region is really what we live in here in Missouri. We like to call it the Parkland. And it was an organization that drives to get people in the door to actually listen to business level technology information, how technology impacts them, things like that. Within that, we also created something called the Parkland Accelerators, which is a group of local businesses that, like lawyers and accountants, technology companies, that actually are offering something for free to help people that have new ideas accelerate their idea to market. So they have an idea for a new app, or they have an idea for a new business. These businesses, if you go to parklandmeetup.com, you'll see an accelerator section. The people on that list actually offer something for free to help people get going so they can start their business right. So that really has been great. We've had 60 to 70 people at every meetup. We actually continue to grow. The local Chamber of Commerce is sponsoring the next one to really drive a lot of people in. So the Farmington Chamber of Commerce here is really pushing to help advocate for businesses to move forward in this technology-focused world.
That's brilliant. It's actually a great initiative, and I really like it. And you say 60 or 70 people turn up to this, so there is a need and a demand for this kind of meetup in areas, and people love to learn all about the expanding business online. So it's really great that you're doing that. Sorry?
Yeah, sorry, I cut out there for a second. But yeah, so that is one of the things is there was definitely a need. We were absolutely overwhelmed, and I'll say humbled by the fact that so many people kept asking for more and to learn for more. We had people emailing us ideas of things they wanted us to talk about at these meetups. And a lot of times when you start an organization, you're begging to find people to sponsor the organization and find ways to fund it. You come up with an idea, but are people really interested? We've been fortunate where people have came to us to say, hey, we want to help this succeed. How can we help you make this succeed? Which is a great problem to have.
Yeah, no, that's a great complaint. It's absolutely brilliant. But it's not only business owners and local entrepreneurs that you're helping out. You started the Parkland Programmers, which is amazing. I've seen you update about it on Facebook, and I've been following it. And it's such a great idea. You're actually helping children between the ages of 6 and 16. I might be wrong.
8 and 12 for the programmers. Although we do have something else is the 6 to 16, which is the Minecraft-a-thon. But yes.
Oh, okay. And what you're doing is you're starting to kind of meet up for them to learn how to program and bring skilled workforce into a rural area. Can you tell us more about it?
Absolutely, and we're very excited and passionate about this. My wife and I have 4 children, and we actually, we were talking, I guess it was, a couple months ago, and she had brought up this program where there was a college that was offering, programming camps over the summer for children, but it was really out of the price range that most kids, specifically in rural regions, but most kids are ever going to have the ability to afford to even start to, stick their fingers in to learn a little bit about programming. So we said, why can't we do this here? Why can't we do this in this area and give the kids in this area the opportunity to see what's possible? Because I totally believe that's what gives kids the ability to learn and be creative and create the next big thing, is just to put it at their fingertips to be able to think about what they could possibly create. So we were fortunate that between the meetup, which we were just talking about, we'd met some people, some educators that we can't thank enough for how progressive they are using technology. Between all of us, we came up with a plan to actually create the Parkland Programmers. And you can go to parklandprogrammers.com, you'll see more about it. But what we did is open up a class. We limited it to 40 kids, ages 8 to 12, the first session, which is going to be for 12 weeks. We actually filled up the class of 40 kids within 6 days, which is phenomenal considering this area never had anything like this. We'd have great media coverage locally. It's been a great story locally in the papers and radio. So it's been phenomenal. And there's some other things that are going to happen from it that we're also excited about that we're getting ready to announce soon too, but it's really been great.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely brilliant. And do you have any future plans to expand Parkland Programmers and maybe do it in other counties, or?
We absolutely do. So what we see happening here is, we're going to launch here locally. It's 8 to 12-year-old children. We really, resources when you first launch something, you're like, hey, where's our target market? But we have enough people asking us. We have waitlisted people, let's put it that way. But we have people in other age groups that have came to us and said, look, my kids would love this. Can we start this? We see it as a way to also start bringing in teenagers to prep them for the future, even younger kids maybe, different areas. Like there's a great robotics program here locally ran by a lady named Ann Bose who teaches robotics and does robotics competitions. So we actually see the ability to bring in robotics programming and some things around that into the program. So we're excited. There's a lot going on. It's only going to get better.
Yeah, that's really great. So yeah, you're a busy guy. You got local tech and you've got your meetups, and it's really amazing. Can you tell people where they can find out more about you, maybe more about local tech and about the meetups if they want to find out any more?
Lots of places to look. You can go to brucemarler.com is my blog. It's actually going to become a lot more active real soon. I've been getting ready for a relaunch there, but check that out. Or bruce.me. I'm a big .me fan, so bruce.me goes there as well. You can go to facebook.com/localtech. That's LOCALTEK. You can also go to parklandmeetup.com or go to parklandprogrammers.com. We're out there on Twitter and everything. So.
That's brilliant. It's absolutely great what you've been doing, and it's been a pleasure to have you on the show, and I'm sure people listening in are going to love the information that you've given. Would you say there's an opportunity for other people to start a meetup?
I would say there. Absolutely. I think when you look at an area like this and people thought, it's an area outside of a metro area, why would there be interest? To see the success we've had, it just shows you the opportunities there. People just need to get out and get going and help get it started in their communities.
Exactly, and it's always good to give back. So, Bruce, it's been great having you on the show, and I hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much, Greg.
Perfect, Bruce. Thank you.
Thank you.